I became the emergency translator because I said one word in Spanish at the wrong time. I don't speak Spanish. Let me get that out of the way before you judge me. I can maybe mumble hola and order a taco without sounding like a total fraud, but that's it. So naturally, when my company hosted a huge client from Madrid, I should have just kept my mouth shut. But no, I had to try and be friendly. We're in this big boardroom, everyone's stiff and nervous, and one of the Spanish guys sneezes. My brain, running on caffeine fumes and panic, blurts out, "Salud!" Dead silence. Every head turns toward me like I just revealed a secret superpower. The client's face lights up. He grins, points at me, and says something rapid fire in Spanish that I absolutely did not understand. My boss beams like a proud parent and goes, "Oh wow, you didn't tell us you spoke Spanish." And just like that, I was trapped. I tried to correct them. I said, no, I don't actually, but they were already handing me the agenda and asking me to help facilitate communication. I could feel my soul leaving my body. At first, I thought I could skate by. I nodded at things, smiled, threw in a dramatic "sí" every once in a while. People seemed impressed, but then the client asked a question, a long one. Everyone looked at me expectantly. My boss leaned forward, waiting for me to translate. So what did I do? I panicked and said, "He's asking about timelines." Total guess. Thankfully, that's the kind of corporate nonsense everyone talks about, so my boss just launched into a 10-minute speech about deadlines and deliverables. The Spanish guy nodded politely. Crisis averted. Except now I'd set the bar. I wasn't just the guy who knew salud. I was the official translator. By lunch, I was sweating bullets. I was Googling Spanish business phrases under the table like my life depended on it. Every time I heard a word I recognized, dinero, problema, equipo, I just built an answer around it. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it made 0 sense, but nobody questioned me. Then came the disaster. The client leaned back, smiled, and asked me something that included the word familia. Easy, right? Family. Got it. But instead of saying, "He's asking about our company's culture," like a sane person would guess, I confidently announced, "He wants to meet our families." And my boss, bless his soul, goes, "Of course, that would be wonderful." Suddenly, this casual meeting turned into a full-blown family dinner plan for that night. I had created an international cultural exchange program with a single bad guess. That evening, half our department dragged their spouses, kids, even one confused grandma to a Mexican restaurant downtown. The Spanish clients showed up with bottles of wine, looking thrilled, and somehow, the night was a hit. People were laughing, kids were running around, everyone was bonding. My boss whispered, "You're a genius." This was exactly what we needed. Meanwhile, I was sitting there with Google Translate under the table, desperately trying to keep up. Every toast was a gamble. Every joke was Russian roulette. At one point, I thought the client said, "To new beginnings," so I stood up, clinked my glass, and repeated it. Everyone cheered. Turns out he was actually talking about new billing structures. Close enough. The scariest part? The more I faked it, the more confident people became in my skills. Someone even handed me their kid at one point and asked me to teach them a few Spanish words. I taught the poor child how to say quesadilla and television, like I was running a masterclass. Then dessert arrived, and the waiter asked if we wanted churros. I tried to quietly say sí, but must have over-enunciated, because the whole table burst into applause like I just delivered a flawless TED Talk. My boss actually raised his glass and toasted me for bridging cultures. I've never wanted the ground to swallow me faster. By the end of the night, I wasn't just the translator. I was some kind of cultural ambassador. My boss slapped me on the back and said, "You'll be running point on all our Spanish accounts from now on." I nodded, smiled, and whispered the only Spanish I truly knew. Adios to my sanity. And here's the kicker. 3 weeks later, I got an email. Subject line, "Excited for next meeting, in Espanol." So now I'm taking an actual Spanish class, all because I couldn't keep my mouth shut after a sneeze.